Hi, good afternoon, Miss Lewis. I hope you're hearing me clearly. Alrighty. I just called this brief meeting with you, just a little session with you to go through some stuff that I had a meeting with Miss Brown, the manager, and she is not pleased because we've been getting complaints. I'm just going to go straight to the point. We've been getting complaints, Miss Lewis, about your behavior. Um, you are a supervisor and you're responsible for three departments. I know it is pressuring and I know it is hard, but you have to know how to compose yourself. So, the manager took me into a meeting yesterday and she pointed out some issues that the staff has been complaining to HR about concerning you. You have been here for 6 months and this leadership role is fairly new to you. I understand that. And some of the issues that were highlighted is not pretty. You're acting very unprofessionally. I'm not here to accuse you. I'm just basically stating what was said in the meeting. All right. So you were behaving very unprofessional. You were not patient with your staff. You show poor leadership skills. Um, you basically showed no training in getting performance out of your staff. I will come to that later. You show no sense of direction at all when giving tasks. It's like you just hand out an assignment to one of your staff and expect them to do it without knowing what they're supposed to do specifically, and that cannot work. So this is just a meeting that I'm going to have with you, just to iron out certain things, just to give you a little idea of how to deal with certain situations. All right, we're here to work. We're here to work as a team. Nobody is perfect, but I'm here to work with you. Okay, Miss Lewis. The first point that I want to point out is first thing is decision making without consulting your staff. No, we run a consulting firm, right? In which we assist companies in making decisions, especially financial decisions. And when you give an assignment to a staff, you have to basically give the full detail of what that staff is supposed to do. For example, if I am your supervisor and I say to you, okay, Miss Lewis, you have the task of contacting um, Firefox's three clients who basically owe money, right? I am going to give you the full down detail. I'm going to give you every single information that we have on them. I'm going to tell you how to basically deal with the situation. I'm going to tell you how to get the necessary information when they ask or when they start to object to certain things, right? So when you're making certain decisions or you're giving out tasks to the staff, you need to consult with them. Don't say, okay, John, I'm going to give you this task and I want it by tomorrow. No, you have to consult with them. Go to the staff and say, okay, I have an assignment. John, would you like to take it on? Mary, would you like to take it on? Who is better to fit this? Consult with your staff. Do not throw things at them. Do not make drastic decisions, especially if you want persons to work overtime. You cannot, and this is unfair, you cannot have the staff time to clock out at 5 and you're coming to them at like around 4:45 saying, I need you to work a double time. You can't do that. Persons have lives, people have things to do. So if it is possible for you to come to them like a 2 hour early and say, okay, I need you guys to stay back, and then they will come up with whatever excuses they have to do, and some will stay, right? But you have to make decisions while consulting your staff, get their feedback on certain things. What if they have a different point of view on a specific task or something, in order for you guys to work together? All right, so that is one way of basically dealing with that issue, making decisions with your staff. All right, so there's another thing that they pointed out to me is no training on evaluating their key performance. All right, the other day you had a trainee. She has been there for 3 months, and we have seen on the management team, we have seen where she has grown, and you haven't sent in the request to put her on staff as yet. And it's been like around what, 5 months now since I've been here and seeing that that person is not on staff as yet. That person can do her job, but it's like you're overlooking that person. I don't know why. I don't know what is your personal view of how that person works, but you need to evaluate them properly. All right. There's another thing that they have a problem with also, but I will leave that for probably second to last. But there's another issue that the manager has pointed to me, is that you do not lead by example. No, being a leader means you have to be one step ahead, right? You have to show yourself different from others. So, for example, if your staff is not willing to stay back, you be the one to stay back. Someone will say, okay, well, soup staying back, so I can stay back and help soup. All right, lead by example. If there's a task to be done, be the leader. Be the one to say, okay, guys, come on, let's get this done. Let's do this. Let's do that. Be a example for your teams. You cannot be laid back. They need somebody to look to. Okay, you can't be acting like the regular staff. You can't be behaving like them, because when you behave like them and they act the way they do, things will not work as productive as we would want in the company. So you have to lead by example. Be the one to be out there to say, okay, let's get together. Let's put things in place. Let me be the one to assist you. You understand? So just be the one to basically stand out. Be the one to say, I am here to stand for you guys. I am here to back you guys in anything. Because if there's any issue, your staff is saying that you're not there to basically stand by them. When they make a mistake, you just leave them alone. You cannot do that. When we look at your department, the only person we're looking at is you, because you're the one who is leading them. So you have to lead them by example. And another thing is that when being a leader, you cannot be a bully. You cannot be shouting at your staff. Okay? Shouting is not allowed. We are not animals. You're not dealing with animals. Being disrespectful. Okay, you're not dealing with children either. You're dealing with full-grown adults. We do not condone bullying in our firm. It is completely wrong, and it will not get you anywhere, because if you ask the staff to do something and you're shouting at them, you're not going to get any results. Just like a child, When you ask a child to do something and you shout at that child get used to you shouting, they're not going to do it. So if you find a certain tactic that works with that child will do what you ask them to do. So likewise with adults. Everybody know we have some staff who are troublemakers, right? So if you notice that Tim is not doing his job correctly, find a tactic. Know how Tim works. Okay? Know how Tim works. You cannot be shouting at them. You cannot be bullying them. You cannot be breathing down their necks. You have to be patient enough to an extent to deal with them. If you're asking them to do something, ask it in a proper, calm, and professional manner. If they refuse, and I highly think that they will not refuse because you're not asking them to do anything out of their job description, I know I'm correct. So if you ask them properly, then they will oblige to you. Another thing is that they are saying that you have no sense of direction in your task. So it's like you're doing stuff, but you don't understand what you're doing, right? Yes, having no sense of directions. You do not, when you're dealing with an assignment with your staff, it's like you don't explain the assignment properly to them. So you just dash the assignment on them and they don't know what to do. So you have to know what you're doing. You have to know how to explain yourself. You have to have a full understanding of what you're issuing to your staff, right? And when you're doing that, you have to gain feedback. You can't just be throwing stuff on them, which brings me back to decision making without consulting the staff. You cannot be throwing things at them and not get their interaction. They need to know what to do, how to do it. You cannot be throwing tasks at them like that. So they have to have an understanding of what is to be done, right? It is like when dealing with people, you have to know which tactics and how to deal with people. You have to have a wide understanding of how to understand people. You have to have an understanding how to deal with people and how to assess certain people's situations. Because if you have a problem with a staff, you have to know how to approach that staff. You have to know how to deal with them. Just like how we're dealing with our clients, we have to know how to deal with the situation. We have to know how to assess them. Just like how you're dealing with customers same way, you have to listen. You have to be calm. You have to be patient, right? You have to work together as a team. Everyone here has a specific job to do, and we want to do it very productively. So, with these points, I am not here to accuse you. I am not here to demote you. I am not here to take your job, but what I am here to do is to basically guide you in certain things that you need to understand and you need to look at when becoming a leader. You were trained as a supervisor, and I hope you haven't forgotten your training, but I'm going to email you a list of these pointers that you need to work on. We are not robots, we are not perfect, so I need you to work on these things, right? There's another point that I am having an issue with, and I really do not think it should be coming from you, Miss Lewis, because you are a female. There is a issue with ESAF, and they basically reported that you are being discriminative against women. I do not know your sexuality, and I could not care for it. It is your life, and you live your life how you want to, but you cannot be discriminating against any individual, male or female. We are here on this earth to do our work, and we are put here as God's children to work, right? I do not understand why you would do it, but let me give you some things to do. Everybody has their point of view. Not everyone can tolerate everybody. But if you cannot tolerate a certain person or a certain gender, you have a superior. Speak to your superior, right? Use certain tactics. Do not discriminate. Do not show favoritism, especially when you're a leader. You cannot be partial at all. What goes for her goes for him, right? So in any scenario at all, we cannot be discriminating against anyone in this workplace, right? We have to be respectful of one another's gender. We have to be respectful of one another's beliefs, right? I may not believe what you believe, but at the same time I am not going to be disrespectful, right? The only way where there is a problem is if they're pushing their beliefs on you, like you have to take it. That is where you draw the line and you speak to the necessary individuals about dealing with that situation. Do not take it up in your hands at all, right? So as I started at the beginning, this is just a session to basically talk to you, basically coach you in building your morale as a leader, because we're here to do our jobs, and without each other we cannot do our work. So I know you were very worried at the beginning what was going to happen, but this is just a coaching session for you to take some pointers to basically better lead your team, because I see where you're doing your work very, very well. You know what you're doing, but the thing is that you're not enforcing that leadership role that we look for in our supervisors at this firm. So I thank you for your time. I hope we won't have this meeting again. I pray that we won't have this meeting again. And I hope that you will take the time out to listen to what I have to say and to basically go over. I am recording this session so you can go over it and listen to what I had said to you. And I know you will make a positive change towards the next brand. All right. So Miss Lewis, please have a wonderful day and thank you for having this meeting with me. Bye-bye.